One. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Coast to Coast Podcast. Today, we're all back together and we're coming up with some Aaron Rodgers trade scenarios. A lot of these coming from the internet, talking about the three teams that are rumored to trade for Aaron Rodgers that are most likely on his destination list. We have the Denver Broncos, we have the Las Vegas Raiders, and we have the San Francisco 49ers. So, without further ado, we're going to jump into it. We're going to give our opinions to each of these trades and we'll follow along. You guys can look at us on Instagram. We'll be providing you with our grades for these trades at the end of the day. So here we go. We're going to get started. We got the first trade. Just review the trade details and then I'll hand it off to you guys. So Denver will receive quarterback Aaron Rodgers in a 2022 fourth round pick. In exchange, Green Bay will receive quarterback Drew Lock, cornerback Patrick Surtain the second, a 2022 and 2023 first rounders, and a 2023 third round pick. So Jose, I'll hand it off to you here. What do you think about this trade?
If I'm Green Bay, this is probably the best case scenario. I mean, you're getting two first rounders and a third round pick. You're getting a guy that's probably going to be a starter guy for you and going to compete with Jordan Love for that starting role eventually. And you're getting some secondary help. I mean, this is pretty much the best case scenario for Green Bay. As far as Denver, it's a lot to give up, but I don't feel like it's a risk they're not willing to take, especially for the potential return of a great QB like Aaron Rodgers.
Definitely,
Yeah,
Carson.
I 100% agree with Jose. I mean, out of all the trades, like I feel like this is definitely the best one because you still get the two firsts like you would in the Oakland deal, but you're also getting potentially like the best corner out of the draft along with the guy you already drafted in Eric Stokes. And like Jose said, we know how much the Packers secondary struggled. But I think to make this just a little bit juicier, I think if you take out Locke and maybe replace him with Teddy, a guy that's like a proven veteran, and then potentially add a receiver, I think that would be by far the best package. I mean, I think they could still get it done without a receiver like a Judy or Hamler or something, but I think that would just make it that much more of like if I'm the Packers, I'm like, all right, like I feel like obviously it's sucks seeing Rodgers go, but I feel decent about the the trade package I'm getting. And just adding that extra wide receiver would be much more appealing. But I think regardless, I think this is still probably the best deal that the Packers would get for sure.
And I think
Yeah,
Rodgers wants to be on the most for sure.
it's
Yeah, and
definitely
they have the most like win now. I mean, obviously the Niners too, but like I think that's a little bit less realistic. But like Broncos are really solid, man. Really solid defense. Their O line's good too. Like I think this would be like they'd be in win now mode. Definitely a Super Bowl contender with Rodgers.
yeah, gotta agree on that. I mean, it's literally the Peyton Manning situation all over again. You're getting a guy that's just as
Yeah.
talented towards the tail end of his career. I mean, I think Rodgers has more time left than Manning did at this point in his career. But some great weapons. You got Noah Fant at tight end. You got Albert O. I don't want to know how to say his last name. Also his tight end. So you got two solid tight ends. You got Colton Sutton coming back from an ACL injury, who looks to be primed for a breakout season. You got Jerry Jeudy, who's a fantastic route runner. Just got to work on his hands. Hamler. Tim Patrick is a guy that was very solid this year. Had 7 touchdowns. And then, Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams back there. So he's got a lot of weapons, and this team is stacked on defense. Even losing Patrick Surtain, you still have 3 guys that are very viable corner options with a number 1 in Kyle Fuller. So I think it's a trade that they had to go for. So we'll leave it as that. We'll drop our grades down later, but moving on to the next trade, the Las Vegas Raiders, probably the least enticing team for him to go to, more for the location of Las Vegas. But this trade would look like a quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, and a 2023 fourth round pick goes to Las Vegas in exchange for Derek Carr, 2 first round picks in 2022 and 2023, and a 2022 second round pick. So, Carson, I'll hand it off to you first. What do you think about this trade?
Yeah, you said it. Definitely like the least exciting. I think they would, Rodgers on all 3 of these teams. I think this would be probably the worst team out of the 3. But I like the fact that you get those 2 first rounders and then also a second in next year's draft. I think potentially throwing in like a Arnett, Mulrig, or maybe like Abram or something. But yeah, I mean this is the one I least likely see. I mean this is probably best case scenario for Aaron Rodgers, like outside of football. But as football goes, it just would not be too exciting. And you get Carr as a Packers fan. It's like, it's like, do you really want Carr? So, solid with the picks, but besides that, I mean, not too enticing for sure.
Yeah,
Jose?
this is a lose-lose situation. You're going into a division that's already got Patrick Mahomes. They've already got Justin Herbert. you would probably be battling for that third or fourth spot. I mean, with this Raiders team as is, I don't think Rodgers is elevating them to a contender immediately. If I'm Green Bay, I'm looking to tap into that secondary, get a piece or two, get Abram, get someone else, because a straight quarterback swap would not be worth it, even with a couple first round picks. This would be an all around no, unless they throw in some more pieces from Vegas.
Yeah. I think it's actually a little bit more better for Green Bay than we think it is. I mean, you got to look at this underrated storyline here. Derek Carr would be teaming up with his former Fresno State teammate and Devontae Adams. So you already have a connection there that is going to be trustworthy. I think, Derek Carr is a very solid guy. I don't think he's really had the ability to, throw the deep ball, throw it to a guy like Devontae Adams that can go up and get it, or, just be a pure route runner the way he is. I think, it allows Green Bay to still compete in that division, which I think if Aaron Rodgers is traded, I might put my money on the Vikings to win that division at this point. But, Green Bay's still walking away with first rounders in 2022 and 2023. I just think for Vegas, they have a lot of unproven guys at wide receiver, and really the only good option they have is tight end Darren Waller, who's obviously fantastic. But they have no offensive line pieces. They lost them all. So I think this was a trade that should have happened a year ago if Las Vegas want to go out and get them, because what's production is he getting? Because he's going down in offensive line play. He doesn't have a David Bakhtiari or an Elton Jenkins to protect him. So definitely, I think it'd be, a B sort of grade for Green Bay, but for Las Vegas, I think it's C minus D plus. So we'll move on to the last and final trade. The San Francisco 49ers, a team that the trade has already been rejected, but who knows? I think there's an enticing package, and this is one that I threw together. Green Bay would receive quarterback Trey Lance, quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo for the cap space reasons, offensive guard Aaron Banks, a 2023 second-round pick, and a 2022 fourth-round pick. And San Francisco would receive Aaron Rodgers and a sixth-round pick in 2022. So, Jose, what's your opinion on this one?
I mean, if I'm Green Bay, I don't necessarily want Trey Lance thrown in there. I'd rather get a guy like Dre Greenlaw or something. They've still got Jordan Love. Jimmy G's shown to be a capable starter. Definitely going to be able to mentor Jordan Love. I love Aaron Banks. And obviously, if you're San Francisco, you're willing to give up your two QBs and a rookie guard for a potential having Aaron Rodgers, who would be so fun to see in that division. I mean, it'd be four teams just battling it out. I honestly don't know who I would take in that division if Aaron Rodgers were to head the Niners. But I mean, for Green Bay, I don't love it, but for San Francisco, this is probably best case scenario for them.
Carson?
Yeah, and definitely like best case for Rodgers, because you're in Cali and you have, probably the best team. I mean, a team that's 2 years away or two years removed from the Super Bowl. I actually disagree with Jose. I think Trey Lance would be like the highest upside out of all the quarterbacks you would get from these three trade packages, because, you can groom him into, your QB of the future, and you could potentially flip Jimmy G and Jordan Love and get more picks, depending on, you probably wouldn't get any first rounders. Just the problem is, exactly that. You're not getting any first rounders. So that's why, like you said, they probably already rejected it. But just a crazy, alternate universe, like, the Niners, what if we don't even trade up for Lance and we stay at 12, which we probably might have gotten him, Fields, or Mac Jones at that pick anyways. With Mac Jones, it's like if we would have taken him at 12, it wouldn't have been that mad. Just the fact that he was like potentially going to go 3, it's like, eesh. But like, could have gotten any three of those guys at 12, kept our 2022 and 2023 first round picks, and then use those to get Rodgers. But I mean, we already pulled the trigger, but that's just like a crazy what if. But like I said, I just love the upside with Lance, but I think just the lack of those first round picks means like it's, not ideal for the Packers.
Yeah, I mean, they had no first round picks to offer, so it's kind of hard like going through. I think like 2024 is the next time they have a first round pick that's theirs. So, they got to throw in value. I think offensive guard, looking on the other side of Elton Jenkins at right guard, they do need a guy there. So, to build out the offensive line. And yeah, like you said, Trey Lance was worth 3 first round picks to the 49ers. So you got to put in the most valuable guy out there. I mean, you got to look at the untouchables that they probably wouldn't trade. I mean, Javon Kinlaw's a guy you could see going in there, playing alongside Kenny Clark in Green Bay. I think Dee Ford could be a guy you could substitute instead of Jimmy Garoppolo to get the trade done for cap reasons. So they get another edge rusher, but they don't really need that on Green Bay. Honestly, the San Francisco 49ers don't have a fantastic depth at corner, so they couldn't trade a lot of those away. So, probably not the most enticing package, but it looks good for San Francisco. So, without further ado, that will be our episode for today. Just a little quick one. Just wanted to go over some trade scenarios since it's a very popular topic, and we don't know. He can still get traded this offseason. So, without further ado, we will see you later this week for more content. And this is Coast to Coast Podcast signing out. Peace.